morning guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is a Saturday morning. Don't think the video is going to go up on a Saturday, but you know, got a really cute outfit on. Someone thought I'd show you straight away. I haven't worn this for ages. Like the little pink crops from Gymshark are really cute. Here he is showing up. So today's video for you is actually a hip thrust video, and it's very highly recommended. Not recommended, yeah, no, people want me to do this video, basically going through the form of how to do a correct hip thrust, how to get the bar on you, etc, but also different variations of hip thrust if you cannot do a barbell hip thrust or you're not their biggest fans or whatever. So I'm going to give you loads of variety in terms of different exercises that you can do, like glute bridges, single legs, banded, staggered, whatever they are, so you can trial different things. It's absolutely freezing, just stood out here in the cold, so we're going to pop in the car. Wow, it is literally so cold. Right, so Ben's got the big camera today. Look at that, look at his setup. And then can you see my setup in here? I've given him the quality camera, you know. I've given him the quality camera, you know, for today's vlog. I hope you appreciate that, guys. I'm doing this here with you. Look how icy it is. Jesus Christ.
The barbell hip thrust. Firstly, actually getting the bar up and finding the right bench height is the first thing I think you need to look at. The optimal bench or box height for hip thrust is actually 14 to 16 inches for most people. But unfortunately, public gyms don't have preset hip thrust machines like they do in America. Well, in the UK anyway, they don't. So most of the time we have to set up ourselves. At Pure Gym, I either use a 12-inch and a 3-inch box together, or as you can see here, I'm using an incline bench, which is adjusted to the correct height. Secondly, you want to have a look at your foot position. Your shins should be vertical when your hips are fully extended. Now that's at the top of the movement. If your feet are too close to your body, you're going to feel it in your quads. And if your feet are too far away, you'll feel it more in your hamstrings. Now your head position is one of the most important parts of the hip thrusts. Look straight forward throughout the entire movement. You'll notice that your chin will naturally tuck, which keeps your ribs down, your chest won't pop up, and you will have a flat torso. This avoids hyperextending your spine. If you keep this position, there should be no anterior pelvic tilt at your hips, and your hips should be neutral or a slight posterior pelvic tilt. Finally, push through your heels. The spread of force and tension from your foot through your leg and glutes can actually be altered by where you put the tension on your foot. If you push with the ball of your foot, more tension will be placed on the quads, but if you focus on pushing more with your heels, more tension will go through the back of the thigh and to your glutes. Your first variation of a hip thrust is your barbell glute bridge. They're exactly the same as a hip thrust, except you've taken the bench away. I do like this variation, but you will probably find you slide rearward, which means you have to keep repositioning your feet, as you can see that I'm doing in the video. And I actually find it a little bit more uncomfortable to have my shoulders and upper back on the floor rather than being on the bench, but again, that is just personal preference. Banded hip thrusts and double banded hip thrusts. Here I'm showing you two examples of where I use bands with hip thrusts. Your regular banded hip thrust, which only uses a hip circle above your knees, and then the second variation is my favourite. Now, this is the double banded hip thrust. The easiest way to get into this exercise is how I've shown you on the video. All you have to do is loop the band in half, place it over your left foot and then your right foot, and then you pull it onto your hips, and then that's when you slide down the bench into the correct position. And just another point to add, consciously squeeze your glutes hard while doing the exercises. It's all about getting your mind into the muscle and forcing it to contract rather than just going through the motion of the exercise. By concentrating on squeezing the glutes hard during your sets, basically of these banded exercises, specifically in hip thrusts, you'll be activating the muscle fibres of the glutes and increasing the amount of work that they actually do. Knee banded glute bridges. I will usually do knee banded glute bridges as an activation exercise or as part of a glute finisher, which is in Perfect Peach 2.0. I've dropped the link below for you so you can get that. Purely because my glutes feel so fired after a good 20-30 reps from doing these activation or finisher exercises. You want to focus on abducting the glutes outwards, so basically pushing the band out whilst doing every single rep, but also reaching full hip extension. Finally, single leg hip thrusts using a plate. These are a great glute exercise to focus on single leg movements for the glutes, and I specifically like this as I can solely feel this exercise in my glutes and not my quads or my hamstrings. Usually I can't load this very heavy with a plate because, as you all know, plates go to about 25 kg, but that's perfectly fine as I use this exercise as an accessory movement, upping the reps and lowering the weight. And as you can see, I literally just place my hand over the plate to balance it and continually push through my heels and my glutes.
Whoa, would you look at that sun and out like a giant snowman. It's actually much warmer than it's been. This is a few days after it's been snowing. Anyway, back to the vlog. Really hope you enjoyed that video. It was, I guess, like a learning video in terms of how to hip thrust, the different variations, what are good things to do, to not do, to avoid if you've got like back pain, anything like that. I just thought it would be a really helpful video for you guys to know. I've finally done it. I don't know why it's taken me so long to do it, considering hip thrust is my favourite exercise. I actually just look like a head. Can you just appreciate I look like a head? But I'm going to love you and leave you. If you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!